Greetings, this is Nero and I'm going to do a do or die of E is the Oath in Felghana. And we're going to go with hard mode. This is going to be post commentary because I tried to do live commentary but I forgot to check what audio device my Audacity is using for recording, so it ended up not recording anything while I was playing, so it's post commentary now. I'll try to do live commentary next time. The reason I'm going to do this with hard mode is because Nightmare and Inferno, there's some randomness going on with the certain bosses that can kinda make a noded run very unreliable to do. It's not very fun to play to a certain point and then you get fucked by random bullshit. Maybe it's bullshit, maybe it's not, it might just be my lack of skill, but Gialla at least is something everyone has to accept is some kind of bullshit. The tile flipping crap. Istelsiva is another boss that I personally see to be the way the bombs fly around when he or she opens up its weak point. Otherwise, Nightmare and Inferno mode are both kind of unenjoyable for me because, not because of difficulty, but because it's like there's these random bosses like Gialva, then there's some other bosses that are not that random, are just very tiring to fight because they do choose their attacks kind of randomly, and some attacks you are harder to counter than others, so you can't counter them at all, so you have to sometimes jump over the same attack multiple times before you can counter attack, and it prolongs the fights very much because they have much higher HP. So I tire out in these battles very easily. I don't like it, but I'm going to go with hard mode here. Nothing to be ashamed of. And I'm going to kind of go through these story events fast. I don't like skipping main story events that much in video games. Also, right here I'm going to skip this intro. I slightly regret it, but it's not that big a deal, really. I could skip all these story events, but it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, so I'm going to leave them in. And I'm going to use them to discuss some stuff while they're on. So the next thing is rules. So no dying. If I die, the run is over. I'm not going to use the resurrection pendant thing. Then there's... I'm not going to grind. I'm going to look for treasure and I'm going to go wherever I need to go, but I'm not going to intentionally stay somewhere to kill creatures. But if there's a situation where I have to run past a certain point multiple times, like in the mines there's this shaft you have to pass like 3 times. I'm not going to kill all the enemies there, but everything that's in the way I'm going to kill. So I can get some experience, but I'm not going to grind myself to extreme power, so it actually stays interesting. So on hard mode it's already somewhat harder to grind like that, but you get where I'm going with that. Then what else? I am going to upgrade my weapons when I can, because that's kind of how the game is intended to go. So if you go to a battle with very minimal damage or defense, and when I get story events points where I'm not going to have anything to say, I'm just going to fast forward them. beginning here we have to talk to Elena and the brother and sister in the church. Then there's going to be something on this town square and we can talk to somebody else, upgrade our weapon and go to the first dungeon. Off we go. At the beginning here it's always hard for me to kinda get used to the fact that I have no power-ups or anything at this point yet. Like no magics, just a sword. Can double jump, can dash. And usually by the time I'm used to it I've already gotten everything back, but it's not going to slow us down. To the dungeon. That bug wasn't really in the way, but I'm going to kill it anyway. Got to get some experience. Can't be under level and can't be over leveled, so kinda trying to go for the internet level for each boss. The first two bosses at least don't require it, but there's going to be some bosses that might... for which I might want to do some commentary about the tactics for the bosses, some tricks I figure out. Of course all the tricks are out there, it's an old game. Everyone knows how it goes, but it's always fun to talk about them. That's something kinda copying from EMB, Epic Name Bro. But it's useful. I also got the idea for these do or die videos from EMB, but he's not the only one who does no death runs, so. And most people who do, they kinda upload only successful runs, so. Runs that fail, they are not that common. So we're gonna get these guys because there's such a nice bunch of things to hit. And some gameplay discussion right here. The way damage increases the higher you attack. That's the wrong way to say it. Let's say each hit in your combo deals higher damage, so 9, 10, 12, 14, you can see 10 numbers. So it kinda encourages you to use combos instead of hitting, pausing, hitting, pausing, hitting, pausing. Which would, if there wasn't that increased attack number for each hit, then it would maybe be possible to deal higher damage or more secure damage by hitting once or twice only. It kinda makes you attack at an opportunity, so that you can get a combo in instead of just 1 or 2 hits. Deal higher damage that way. It goes for both mooks and bosses. Suck at these directional attacks mid-air. Talk to this guy and get the key. Anyway, I was about to say, like, the boss commentary videos for bosses where I want to discuss tactics in more depth. I might not be able to talk about them in live commentary because it takes focus to play properly in those fights. No, that wasn't needed for these first 2 bosses, but there are some bosses later where I might do a video like that. Stylish jump there. After the first boss we can get the fireball and do a little trick I like to use. You can use this as a shortcut so that don't have to run all the way. Also that little animation with the bend that kinda slows things down, but it's not a speedrun, so it doesn't matter. This is basically what I mean by not grinding, like there's these enemies close to me, I'm gonna kill them, but I don't have to go out of my way to kill that one up there. I accidentally went to the monument there, but I didn't save. It's a reflex. I had to resist a bit at the start of the mine to not touch that monument. Same for when leaving the town. Here's our first boss battle. I'm going to fuck up right away. Sometimes I like to do a circle around him, sometimes I like to do this half circle so that I'm the bottom side of the screen. It's easier to see what he's doing. Or it. Easy to judge those attacks. For this one, you kinda have to move away from them until they become a straight line. Jump over it. For this one you just have to walk to the side. Sometimes jumping helps, sometimes it doesn't. And this one you just have to jump. Phase 2 he uses that teleport, and then he fires some kind of beam at you, or fireballs. Both can be avoided easily by jumping over it. It's a very simple boss. It can actually be quite challenging for a beginner, but it's not that hard. And it's done. Got kinda close, I think 1 or 2 hits would have killed me there, but I survived. As for the reward, we get the Ignis bracelet, which allows us to throw fireballs. Like that. here I showcasing how in the live commentary I talk about what I use to cancel attacks. I'm going to show it here. Like basically at the end of the combo I fire a fireball so that it kinda staggers the enemy while Adol recovers from the combo. I was talking about fireball cancelling, but it's not really cancelling really. But there's this some kind of technique people use with drop attack to reset it or something. And I can't do that. I don't know how to do it. I don't really care. Yeah, that's kinda how I roll with that spell. Or magic. It's not really a spell. It's more like Adol just uses the bracelet's own power. He can't use magic himself. Down to go. I'm also going to try to do a video per dungeon because it's a bit good length. Wallenstein I might have to split, at least at the clock tower, but for most dungeons I can do a video per dungeon, I believe, because it's not going to take that long, since like most of the time you spend in this game in somewhere is spent on retrying when you die, but since I'm just allowed to die here, it doesn't matter. I say it doesn't matter a lot, but it's true. So this video was like 30 minutes without the story events, and I think I'm going to skip a bit, fast forward a bit to make it shorter, those parts. It might end up like 20 minutes maybe, or 15. These guys you can, even though your sword doesn't do much damage, you can use it to stagger them while your fireball meter gets recharges, and then you can draw fireball at them. Oops. This is why I hate doing the directional attack in midair. I prefer to use the spinny attack instead. Truth is getting kinda dry, so it's hard to do commentary here, but bear with me. I made a little mistake by putting this guy here. That's the spinny ascending attack. It's a bit easier to hit with by just going under the enemy. You don't have to hit the right direction. You don't have to hit the right direction. I tried to grab that coin and I got hit instead. Just do this segment here. I'm going to run past these guys to get the fireball. Ruby for the fireball. Can use that. This part always reminds me of that one stupid review verbal. Didn't get that puzzle with the chest and was mad at the game for it. Not the last boss, but the last boss of this episode soon. Grab this coin and talk to this guy, so... you saw me almost going for the save monument, but I did not. I resisted. It's so hard not to after playing this game so many times and always saving when possible. You have to talk to Edgar there, because if you don't, he's going to ask you to talk with him anyway if you try to walk past him. This is the second boss. She fights these horizontal things. You just have to just jump over them. She also throws those vertical beams and you have to run past them to the side to avoid them. Then you have to run straight, you can do a curve or run diagonally, as they might hit you. Then there's also Super attacks, they are not a big deal, but can be kinda distracting. This one's the window up. You just have to stall in one direction because it's trying to home on you, so you can walk around it easier when it's closer. My first mistake there, jumped way too early. That was the second one, and the next one is going to kill me maybe. Here's the fourth attack. It also homes on you, but it like stops homing right after she casts it, so you can avoid it by going closer to her like this and then running away when she's about to fire it. And she's dead. That's two bosses with no deaths. We'll see how the rest of the game goes. There's even more story events here. And we should talk to Felghana and go to the church again, since there's more people to talk with there. We got the key for the ruins. Well, we're not going to do the ruins today. Gonna do them next time. Let me check what equipment I can get. Gonna see what equipment I can get. It's really hard to say equipment. Ah, that's how you say it. I have to buy it from Cynthia. What's the silver bracelet? We can get the long sword and nothing else really. After that we can't upgrade the long sword, but we can upgrade our shield and armor. Equip that one. You heard me. I can say equip now. Equip. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I'll see you again.